This is also from Stargear right now, and this is their rail mount. It's going to work for 7/8, 1 inch, and 1.25 inch tubular rails. So this is my boat, and you'll see conspicuously in this picture over here, my Starlink was on a pole mount. So I have rails all over my boat that I want to mount the Starlink to. This was the bigger dish. I want to use the smaller mini dish, and I want to mount it to a rail, and I can do that with this device. Let me show you guys how that works. So not only does it protect the Starlink from falling off and mount it securely to a rail, so you're going to get the Starlink Solutions card. You're going to get a special long tool. This is going to come in handy in just a sec. Very well packaged. Everything is very well labeled. Now, there's a 1 inch insert you'll see right here. There's a 7/8 inch insert you'll see right here. There's an extra Allen here, which we'll talk about in just a second. And then there's this very high quality unit. This thing is all cast. It feels like aluminum and very, very sharp on the edges where it connects, which is what you want. You want this thing to be milled at very good tolerances. You can see me through the little hole there. So this is going to be the 1.5 inch size, 1.25 inch size. And now we're going to use the Allens to take this apart, and I'll show you where those inserts come in. And I just happened to have borrowed a piece of my boat, and I brought it in here to the studio. And what we're doing is we're taking this rail mount out. Now, would I like to put a tiny little bit of Loctite on these, because everything on a boat tends to undo? I do like the aluminum feel of this. This feels very light, but also very well milled. So I'm guessing it's aluminum, which is great for saltwater where I have my boat. So you take your original non-anti-theft Starlink mount out, you take your brand new mount in here. You see those 2 screws that are sticking out? That's the important part. You run your cables, you do whatever you need, and then you run this over and you push down. Do a really good push, make sure it's seated well. And then you see this tool? You literally just take this tool and you tighten these all the way down. Again, I might put a tiny little bit of Loctite on those, because once I install this and I start bouncing around on the waves, I don't want this going anywhere. But the cool thing about this is once you've got that in, there is no way for a thief to take this off. And I'll show you one other trick that I'm thinking we can do after this is all done. We're gonna see if it falls. So I can shake, rattle, roll. I can even try to hit the release on this. I can push that release and it will not come out, because those are your anti-theft pins. So this is gonna hold and mount to a rail and give you that satellite internet that you want, and nobody's gonna be able to take it away from you. Now let's take and grab the rail, because I'm gonna install this onto a pole so you guys can see what it would be like. It could attach to any sort of horizontal rail. I just happen to have from our Bimini top. I split it the other day to do a project. So I have a 7/8 inch Bimini top rail here. So if you want to put this on the top of your Bimini, you could actually make a very small indentation or hole. Look at that, man, milled very well. So these are these rubber pieces that make up the difference between 1.25 inch, which is what this is, and your Starlink. So now I'm going to install this. I'm going to do a little bit of a cheat. I'm going to put this down this way. I'm going to install this upside down, basically. So I'm going to align those indentations. I really like the construction of this. For boat stuff, you want quality. I'm going to go ahead and make sure it locks into both sides of the rail mount here. I just want to make sure that's not moving anywhere. I'm going to bring it over here. I like that fit. Okay, it's so rubberized that it's not even wanting to spin on the rail, which is another thing I was worried about with these round, slick stainless steel rails. So I'm going to go ahead and put the screws back in. I'm going to hold this up, and you guys can see the new vertical Starlink mount. So you put that on the top of your boat, and that is your Starlink out on the lake, the waves, wherever you're heading, you're going to have the Starlink mounted. Now this could be a rail mount. I just wanted to put this along the side of the bow rail facing up, because of that phased array antenna. It's not going to have to be oriented like the last one. It can point straight up or just a little bit tilted to get the water runoff. And there you go. So that was from Stargear. A quick field test update. I was finally able to install this on our boat in the marina, and it has worked flawlessly. I used the 1 inch here against the 1 inch pipe that I used to have vertically. I just laid it down flat, which allows me to quickly and easily access it. It's held on up to 40 miles an hour underway, no problems at all. It also allows me to angle it within the anchorage. It's held up even day and night. Here's a night view at one of the most remote anchorages in the United States that you can get to. It handled all of the rain and everything that night, and got us back safely to the marina.